Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Kwanda Nyazeka and thank you so much guys for subscribing. And if it's your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe. Please also like, comment and even share the page. So guys, welcome back to our family. I want you to feel free, do whatever that you want to do. If you want to comment and add maybe in what I'm going to say, please feel free to do that. Don't be scared. You can do whatever. This is our YouTube channel. Yes. So yeah, guys, today I decided to shoot this video and basically tell you about this book, this one book which had maximum impact in my life. This book was so insightful. It changed how I see money. It changed how I perceived business, and it generally changed a lot of ideas that I had, because of the surroundings and maybe the background that I grew up in. So this book, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know you know this book, guys. I know it's a very popular book. It's a very great personal finance book, and it has been around for about 24 years because it was first published in 1997, and it has been translated to many languages and it's being sold all over the world. That means it's a great book. And when a friend of mine suggested this book, I was not interested at all because I was coming from a background of reading biographies, autobiographies, history books, short stories, essays, and etc. Because when I was doing my first year, I was doing African literature and English literature, which were basically courses where we were reading and interpreting texts. So when he suggested this book, I was really not interested. But he kept talking about this book up until I was interested. I was like, I need to buy this book. I need to read it. Up until I bought it. And when I started reading the book, it was inviting. You know the book that you can't even put it down when you're reading it. And I finished the book very quickly as compared to how I would read other books, because every page would like invite you and say, please go to the next page, please go to the next page. I read the book, and after then my life was changed. The way I see money, it literally changed. After I read that book, I registered my first business, like my first formal business, because the book, it literally invited me to start. It was asking me basically, what are you waiting for? Why are you not starting? And I registered the book. I registered the business. That was in 2019. Yes, it was in 2019, and it's now 2021, and I'm happy. The results are really great, and yeah, I think I've found my passion. Yes. So, Rich Dad Poor Dad, like I said, it was written in 1997, which is like 24 years ago, but it's really still relevant even this day. I would recommend someone who wants to start their personal finance journey or start their personal finance education to really get the book, because that book, it will challenge and invite you to think more, and it will challenge the beliefs that you have. So the book has been translated to many languages and is being sold all over the world. So Robert Kiyosaki, in that book, he advocates for financial education. He's telling us why it is important to work on our financial education, and he's also telling us why financial independence, it is important. And he's also talking about the importance of building wealth through investing, and he's talking about investing in real estate, which is literally one of the things that he has used to make himself a millionaire, because he's very rich and he's from America. He's using real estate to make money. He's also advocating and basically talking about the importance of starting and owning your own businesses, because that's another way of investing. You're literally making your money work for you. You take your money, you start a business, and that money is going to generate more money for you. And he also talks about the fact that we as parents, we can't rely on the education system to teach our kids about money, and we can't even rely on ourselves, because I know we're coming from black families. In black families, you are not taught about money. You're not taught about how to make money. You're not taught about how money is made. So in this book, he talks about some of the things that you would need to teach your children about money.
No one actually teaches you how to accumulate wealth. There's no education for what money is, what wealth is, and most people wing it.
He also talks about the importance of basically equipping yourself, investing in your own self, and basically increasing your financial intelligence. So this is a great personal finance book. I really recommend it. If you are looking to start your personal finance journey, you definitely need to change this book. So just briefly, some of the things that I actually got, before I go deep into the lessons that I got from the book. So guys, Robert Kiyosaki, in this book, he has two influential fathers in his life. So the other one, the poor dad, it's his biological father, and the rich dad is a friend to his biological father. And then Robert Kiyosaki's biological father believes in education. He says that Robert Kiyosaki should have good grades and find good job, And also on the other hand, the friend, which is the rich one, he believes in financial education. He believes in investing, in learning more about how money works, And they actually helped him because he's not educated. He actually dropped out in grade 8, but interestingly, he became a millionaire because he believed in financial education. He believed in knowing how money works and basically working on his personal financial intelligence, So yeah, and then on the other side, poor dad, he's not really poor, but he's poor according to Robert Kiyosaki, because even though he's educated, he has a PhD, he believes in good grades, and he's an academic, but still financially, he's not doing well, So Robert Kiyosaki is attracted to these positive attributes that he's learning from this rich dad, which is the second one. Even though both dads, they mean so much to him, but he's getting more financial lessons from this side, because this other one is saying that, no, you need to go to school, you need to find work, you need to get married. And then this other one, he says that you should start businesses, start investing, and basically work on your financial education. So basically, Robert Kiyosaki in that book, he challenged the beliefs that I had, or the beliefs that you even have yourself, that the people who are rich, they are born rich, or people who make a lot of money, they already have money, or maybe you need to have or to earn a lot of money in order for you to become rich. He challenged that and put threats, that made me to question this idea. I even asked myself, but where did I get this? Because clearly it's not a thing, And he also challenged my idea, or the idea that I was taught in school, where they said that your house is your asset. Your house that you buy and literally stay in it is your asset. And I will go and tell you when I'm on the lessons that I got from the book. I will tell you how he explains that. He also defines assets, and he also defines liabilities, and I'm sure this definition, it's not the one that you would find from your accounting books or maybe from your EMS books, because now I had the definition that I got from EMS books, but when I read this book, I was like, no man, these people bias paraffin, because now he was coming with another definition which makes sense. So guys, this is really a great book. When I first read the book, I said to myself, I wish I had read this book when I was in grade 1, or I wish this was the book that I found at home and maybe everyone had it, And after reading the book, I bought like 5 copies, and then I took those copies to Eastern Cape, and then I left them at home. I know some people at home, they read the book. I know some of them, they never touched the book. Yeah, so guys, the lessons that I got from Rich Dad Poor Dad, there's six of them, six lessons. So number one, Rich Dad Poor Dad, in this book, he says that rich, they don't work for money, but they make money work for them. They don't work for money. You know? So in order to understand this title, don't try to get a literal interpretation of it, but just try to understand it the way I understand it. So Robert Kiyosaki is basically saying that rich people, they don't work for money, but they work for them. You know, let's say you have 100,000, and then you take this 100,000, you decide to build two flats. You know, of course, 100,000, it won't be enough, but in this case, let's say it will be enough for you to build a two-room rental property. You know, and then every month you get a rental of 8,000. You know, so that 100,000, it's literally making money for you. You know, even if the owner of that property decides to say, no, I don't want to work anymore, I just want to sit at home and manage these properties, he's basically making money for himself. You know, and what I like about making money work for you, you know, it doesn't care what you are doing, whether you are in the shower or you are sleeping. If it's time for you to get money, it literally comes in. You know, and I know, guys, you know the feeling, your bank notification. You know, even if you are not in the mood, you jump xa kungena imali kuwe. Xa kungena imali uyibona uba iyareflecta phaa efowunini, you literally become excited, you know, because imali ingenile, yabona. So that's what he's basically talking about when he says that rich people, they don't work for money, but they literally make money work for them. The majority of rich people, they don't work for money, but they make money work for them. I mean, look around, look at about Petrus Mutsepe, all those rich guys, they don't work for money. They work money, they make money work for them. You know, what they do, they take their money and invest in different asset classes, you know, and this money, it keeps generating money, and when they do their investing, they diversify. They won't invest in one place, because in investing there are risks. You know, if that risk, that investment or investor, it fails, you know, you're going to lose your money. So you really need to diversify. So that's how I understood the lesson where he says that rich people, they don't work for money. Yes, and I know, guys, some of you have read the book, and I'm not saying that we're going to arrive in the same interpretation or understanding, because yes, as people, we read and understand differently, and it also depends on what outcome are we expecting from our. And also, guys, George Clason, in his book The Richest Man in Babylon, he also advocates for the same thing. He says that people or anyone should really make their money work for them. You know, he says that he perceives one gold as a worker which can potentially produce more workers. You know, like, let's make an example. Let's say you have your 1 rand, and then you decide that this 1 rand can produce more workers for you by putting it somewhere where it's going to generate more money, or by investing it. So you basically, so that money, it basically multiplies, and it's giving you more money. And then lesson number 2, he's basically talking about why it is important to teach financial literacy. You know, why you should make sure that you work on your financial literacy. So he's basically explaining and defining the assets and liabilities. You know, I know we do have our own definitions, which maybe are going to be different from what he puts there, but guys, I don't want to lie. I want to be honest with you. The definitions that I got from the book, they are the ones that make sense, because he was basically saying that an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. You know, if maybe you have a rental property and it puts money in your pocket, that's an asset. You know, and the asset, it must appreciate in value, and it must put money in your pocket, you know, and it also must have value. and also there must be a market where you can sell that property. That is what an asset is according to him. And I also adopted that definition. And he also he says that a liability is anything that takes money from your pocket. So that's where he explains that your house is literally not an asset because it takes money out of your pocket. Maybe when you're talking about rental property or your rental house, that one we can refer to it as an asset because it appreciates in value and it puts money in your pocket. But when it comes to your house, I mean, there's so many things. Guys, we are adults now, and maybe you will get to a point where you're going to have your own house and you will see that having umzi, it's one of the hardest thing. There's always something that you need to buy. There's always some renovations that you need to do. There are bills. You're paying for water. You're paying for electricity. There's always something. So it literally takes money out of your pocket. There's never going to be a time where you're like, okay, fine, this property is giving me money, unless you decide to rent it out to other people. So yeah, and he says that if you want to be rich, you should really spend most of your time buying assets. If you have money, buy assets. Don't buy liabilities, buy assets. I know liabilities, they are nice to have, yeah, but you should really focus on buying assets. These are the things that have value, that they are going to appreciate, and that they're going to give you money, or they are going to put money in your pocket. Yeah. So that's basically what I was saying in this lesson number 2 that I got. And then lesson number 3, he says that mind your own business. I know minding your own business is not easy, guys. I always say this, you will be sometime you will be minding your own business in your room, and there are people outside, they're literally inviting you to mind their businesses, and now you will be tempted and you end up minding their businesses. But he talks about minding your own business. What is minding your own business? Minding your own business is basically paying off your debts. If you have debts, like pay off your debts, make sure you pay them off, and make sure you work on your financial education as soon as possible. If maybe you know that you're not good with finances, you literally should start working on that and start investing, because yeah, guys, I know it's really not easy out there. Having one source of income, it's really not easy. You are not living, you are just surviving. So investing can be another way of generating money, so you should really invest more, and you should really pay your debts if you have debts, because debts is another thing that pulls us down as black people especially. Lesson number 4, Robert Kiyosaki basically writes about the history of taxes. There's a tax, guys, but then he comes from an American perspective because he's from America. And yeah, I would recommend, if you are from South Africa, to read Nicolette Mashele's book. He writes about taxes, in the South African perspective. I think that's the one where you will understand it more, and understand the different types of taxes. When are you getting taxed, and for what things are you getting taxed for. Robert Kiyosaki, in his book, he talks about the history of tax, how it started, and he also mentions that rich people, they actually do have a potential of deciding how people are going to pay taxes, and it really makes sense when you look around and you see or you hear that rich people, they don't pay much tax, but poor people or the working class are the ones that pay more tax. I mean, we also know that employees, they pay more tax as compared to people who own businesses, like Abo Mutsepe and Nabani, and also people who do invest, they don't pay tax at all, of which it makes us question everything. How can we be taxed as workers, but people who own businesses, they are not taxed, So guys, and also Robert Kiyosaki, in that in that lesson, he invites us to actually equip ourselves. Let's learn more about tax. Nicolette Mashile as well, in her book What's Your Move, she writes about taxes, and she's saying that we should really look into knowing more about tax, because there are so many things that we don't know about tax that only rich people and others know about, and they educate their children about these things so that the wealth can move from one generation to the next. For example, uh, the government, it gives tax incentives to people, or these business people who are already rich, when they decide to buy properties and rent those properties to people. Why it does that? Because those people, they are actually helping the government in solving the problem of the housing crisis. So those people, when they rent out those properties, they get huge tax incentives from the government. So that's one of the ways that rich people benefit from e-tax. And also, just to quote Nicolette Mashile, she says that there are money moves that the wealthy know about, and they pass on to their children so that money will never be new to them. So guys, this is an invitation to us to really start being interested in knowing more or finding more information about tax, because this is true, guys. There's so many things that we don't know about tax. There's so many things that only rich people know. Some other people, they don't even know how they are taxed, but they are working. So we really need to be more interested and find more information, so that Nati, we can start building our own wealth, so that we will have the wealth that we will pass to our children, and our children passes to their children. And then lesson number 5, Robert Kiyosaki, he says that rich people invent money. How do rich people invent money? And there are so many ways that he talks about in the book. For example, invest in assets. In assets, those are the income producing assets. Invest in real estate. Start and own your own business. And there are so many ways you can add, guys. There are so many things that we can see here. You can invest. Look at Bonang. Bonang is investing in alcohol. She has a brand yake alcohol. Alcohol, it's one of the things that is being bought by people in South Africa, in large scale. Abantu bayasela, guys. So Bonang is investing in alcohol, and there's so many other the other asset classes that you can invest in. For example, invest in farming. Farming is also another thing that I think we should look into, because like one farmer was saying that there's not gonna be a time where no, people don't eat, but there is gonna be a time where the minerals, there are no longer minerals in South Africa, but there is not gonna be a time where people are not gonna eat food. So it means that there will always be a need for food produced by farmers. So that's another thing we should look into investing in. And also investing in education, guys. I always say that people who invest in education, like starting a school or a tutoring company, those people, they actually have bigger pictures in their minds. They actually see where wealth is, because there's never gonna be a time whereby no upfundwa the whole South Africa, no schooling is going to take place. So guys, you should really look into investing in those things, and start small, guys. Don't stop this thing of thinking that you are going to start now and be big tomorrow. Today I was reading about the founder of Drip, these sneakers, these beautiful sneakers, saying that 7 years later, that's when he can say that he finally got it right, because he's now employing 70 people, and having this brand that is booming. So guys, don't expect that you are going to invest today and tomorrow you are having these huge dividends that you are getting. No, it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't work like that. Step by step, and you'll get there, trust me. Yes. And then finally, this one, he says that work to learn, don't work for money. So basically he's saying that when you work, let's say you find a job in a big company, don't focus more on the money that you're going to get, but focus more on what skill, on what knowledge you're going to get from that company, so that even yourself, if maybe you decide to branch out and start your own thing, you will be able to use that skill that you learned from your previous employer. I know, guys, this one, it's a more subjective thing. I know we're coming from different backgrounds, and different people, they are looking for jobs for different end goals. But yes, when you just want work to be able to pay your bills, but you should also focus on the skill that you're going to get from those people who are going to be employing you, so that one day when you want maybe to start your own thing, you will be able to use those skills that you learned there in order to make your own business to be a success. So yeah, guys, that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you watched up until here, thank you so much. And if it was your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe. And the book, as you can see it here, you can buy it from Take a Lot, or you can buy it from Exclusive Books. It's available. It's not expensive, guys. It's a very old book, so it can't be expensive. I mean, 24 years later. So yeah, get the book, guys, to start working on your financial education. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.